What is up, YouTube? So today we're gonna cook something new. Today we're gonna cook something I call ginger spiced beef. It's really, really good. It's almost like a stir fry, but not really. You're gonna see why later on why it's not really a stir fry. Still really delicious, really hearty, and kind of cool in that it's like gingery and spicy. It's super, super Asian. To get this done, first thing we're gonna need, beef. So today I have picked up some marinating cutlets. I don't actually plan on marinating it, but marinating means that it's cheap. And because I'm gonna slice it up really, really thin, I don't really care about the texture so much. It's just gonna get seared really, really hot, and no matter what, it's gonna be really, really tasty. So the very first thing I'm gonna do, I gotta cut this up. So, I mentioned we need to cut these really, really thinly. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole steak right here. And I'm actually going to cut it right down the middle. Just like that. Then with this, I'm going to cut them into really thin slices. So, why cut them into slices right now? Why not just cook the whole thing and slice it when it's done? That's because what I want to do is when I cook these, I want it to have as much surface area as possible. Because that surface area is where I get that nice browning. And that browning, or Maillard reaction, is what tastes so, so good. And you can really only get that with things with high protein. Okay, my meat's all cut up. I'm going to put this off to the side for now. Just like that, and I'm gonna wash my hands. Okay, so since we're making an Asian type style dish and we have beef, you have to have garlic. You can't have beef without garlic if it's gonna be an Asian dish. It's like against the law. So, how many cloves of garlic? Let's see, I have about maybe a half a pound of beef. So I would say maybe 4 cloves of garlic. I grew up basically eating cloves of roasted garlic, like the whole thing. So it doesn't bother me at all. This garlic we're gonna roughly chop. I want some big kind of chunks of garlic. Perfect. I got my garlic, I got my beef. The first thing I'm gonna take care of, I'm gonna sear the crap out of it. I'm gonna get it really nice and brown. That means I'm gonna set my pan to medium-high heat. Right now in there, I have about a tablespoon of bacon grease from this morning. If you didn't make bacon this morning, what's wrong with you? If you don't have bacon grease, you can use grapeseed oil or something else that has a really high smoke point. Bonus points if you use sesame seed oil because it's gonna taste really, really Asian. For me, sesame seed oil, not a big thing I cook with because it's really, really aromatic, and my house smells like sesame seed oil for like a month. Alright, while my pan is heating up and getting super, super hot, I'm gonna start working on some vegetables. They need to kind of be prepared and everything. The real trick here is I'm gonna cut everything really, really small because I want it to cook really, really fast. I also wanted to have a lot of surface area, that word again, so that everything gets like a nice crust, like an outside of it. It's gonna be really, really good. So, as far as vegetables go, carrots. I always have carrots. For this recipe, I'm gonna use actually just 2 fairly big sized carrots. And that's because I'm gonna cut them up really, really small, so there's gonna be a lot of them in there, or at least it's gonna look like a lot. I'm also going to bring out some broccoli. I want 1 big head of broccoli. Now, I know some people out there don't like eating this stem. I don't mind. I actually kind of like it. So I'm cool buying big heads like this. If you just want to buy the crowns, go for it. I think buying the big ones like this is cheaper though, so. And since I'm already in my fridge, let's grab green onions and a red bell pepper for some pizzazz. Okay, so let's peel these. As far as these carrots go, I think I'm going to cut it in half and then kind of lengthwise and make kind of crescent moons, half moons out of them. You'll see. Like that. I don't know, I think it's a good shape. Now, when you get the shorter end of it, notice that the crescent moon is about the same size as the end of this one. That means I don't need to have this one because my slices will be roughly the same size as everything else, meaning they're going to cook roughly at the same time. And really, that's what I'm going for here. I don't care what shape you cut these things in, but they need to be roughly the same size. Otherwise, you're going to get some that are really, really done and some that aren't. All right, so as you can see, 2 carrots actually makes quite a bit of carrot slices. Next, we're going to cut out the broccoli, and actually, no, we're not, because my pan has just reached its smoke point. Because it's just at that smoke point, I know it's super, super hot, which means all of this meat can go into that. I'm going to grab a spatula, and I'm going to work fast. All right, so that's going. I'm going to use a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. I'm actually going to cook these till they're done because it's so, so thin. I might even pull it just before it's done because I am going to add it to the, Asian carrots and broccoli later on. But while that's kind of finishing up and getting brown, I'm going to grab some chicken stock from the freezer. I'm going to thaw this because I'm going to need some of this chicken stock to make my sauce. Okay, beef is now done, or at least like 90% done. So that's going to come right out of the pan. I'm going to turn the heat down to just medium, and then I'm going to work on this broccoli. Now, I like my broccoli less well done than my carrots, so I'm going to leave them as pretty big chunks. But notice that my chunks are all roughly the same size, which is what I want. Carrots are going to go in. They're going to give up a little bit of their moisture and keep them from burning. But while they do that, I'm actually going to make a lemon ginger sauce, which is going to go on top of all my vegetables. So, grab a bowl, grab a lemon, and you are going to juice 1 whole lemon into this bowl. To all those people out there that don't really work on your grip strength, this is why you do it. Who needs a juicer? That's 1 whole lemon in there. Next, I'm gonna grab my microplane. If you don't have a microplane, buy one. It's awesome. It's so, so good. I'm gonna grab some ginger. And all I'm gonna do is just take off the skin. And I'm gonna plane in about a tablespoon of ginger. If you like your food a little bit more gingery, use more. If you don't like it as much, use less. I think that's good. Next, I want some spice in there. I'm gonna use red pepper flakes. I like the taste. I'm actually not gonna use a whole lot because I don't like it to be too spicy. If I want it to be spicy later on, I can add more to kind of fill it out. I'm gonna put in about 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup of chicken broth. And the very last thing I want to put in there, I want to put 1 tablespoon of flaxseed. Why flaxseed? I think it kind of fills it out. I think it gives it a really nice taste, and I think it gives it nice color. So there we go. There's my lemon ginger sauce. I'm gonna put it right over top. And just like always, whenever I use broth, I always make sure I bring it to a boil for at least 2 minutes. So if you're using maybe a quarter cup of the chicken broth, might be not enough. You might lose a lot of it. If that happens, add just a little bit of water to make sure nothing really dries out in there. I'm gonna move my broccoli off my cutting board. I'm gonna prep a few more things. You probably noticed I haven't touched this red bell pepper yet. That's because this isn't gonna go in right away. This is actually one of those things I add right at the end. The reason I do that is because I like to have something crunchy in there, something to really kind of give you something to bite into. Maybe it's just how I grew up, but I really like mushy carrots. So I like to keep them really well done. But my peppers, nah, they can be pretty much raw, and I'll like them. There we go, nothing fancy. Last thing, I'm gonna pull out one of these green onions.
What?
Oh, hello there. How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm gonna pull out one green onion. How was your day?
Fine, how was yours?
Long. I got frozen yogurt though, so that was good. I would have saved some for you, but it would not be frozen. So I'm gonna take my one sprig of green onions and I'm just gonna dice that up because I think they look really pretty. Green onions are also crazy, crazy cheap. So go nuts with them. Just add them to everything. Everything. My stock has come to a boil. I'm gonna add in my broccoli and just make sure everything gets tossed. It gets a nice coating. Don't be dumb and try to flip and coat everything. Just grab your spatula. Don't be a hero. You just gotta let that sit for maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Let all the veggies cook till it's kind of the consistency you want it to be. So it's been a couple of minutes. The broccoli is nice and tender. The carrots are really nice. Almost done. Last thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the rest of this beef and I'm gonna just get it in there. Yeah. I'm gonna add in my green onions and my red peppers. Yeah, like that. All I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wait till the meat comes back to temperature. Just a minute, maybe 2 minutes. Everything's back to heat. It smells fantastic. Grab some plates. And there we go. Maybe not the best presentation, but it is really, really filling. Smells really gingery, really garlicky, and really, really good. And it tastes so good. Sweet and sour and spicy and savory. It has everything you could possibly want in life. But that's it for this recipe. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or whatever, get in touch with me. Do social things. Leave comments. Just bug me. Do things. I'm so lonely. So that's it. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Oh wait, before I go, nutritional information. It's like here and here. Yeah, it has everything you need right there. Okay, bye.